We are right into it. So, picking up where we left off last week with the streams, we got this concept shoe. I ended with the laces that I was adding in onto this design. Not the laces, sorry, the stitching. But basically, I did this animation for another side project, one I can't share online. So I figured I'd copy that animation into a cool little scene with this shoe, just to kind of show you. So we'll go into save as and give it a opening, or let's do animation cut one. Cool. I'm gonna delete the camera, the lighting, the reference image I have here, and I'm gonna just keep the shoe. This is basically enough for what I need for this little sequence. I do want to improve on the sole, but yeah, we'll get to that when it shows. So I'm gonna close up this collection. I'm gonna start a new collection. This here is the Nike swoosh. Somehow, I think maybe the parent object to this got moved around. We'll put this back where it should be. Okay. I think it was above. There we go, GY, GX, get that finessed into its place. And basically having that, assuming that's the origin. You know what, I'm gonna mirror it, but then I'm gonna have to probably rebuild it. Let's see, mirror on the y-axis with this modifier here. Just kidding, z-axis, but flipped. Oh, it doesn't go where I want it. That's what I want. So, I mean, we'll bring that over to the front and we will apply that modifier, hit tab, and then A to select everything, right click, and I am going to separate by loose parts. There we go. And then just move that over. Make sure it meets, and then I'm gonna need to, stretch it out. So just bring that out. And then in edge mode, within edit mode, move all the edges into place. I'm gonna snap that one actually. I want these two to overlap. There we go, just for now. Okay, that's not bad. Just gotta pull one of these edges out. And all right, now we're ready to rock. Let's get a scene in here to kind of start working from this. So we could go over into Blender Kit and make things quick. And I'll go to scenes and I'll just search sci-fi because that's kind of the vibe of this shoe. So that's pretty cool, but not fitting to this one. If I get something chromatic or sort of athletic, not so crazy. Not so dystopic. Am I not logged in? So I have some of them locked? Yeah. Well, let's see. This is not very high res, but I think I'd prefer that if I were able to put the shoe right there towards the end and have it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. I think I can work with this because I want it to be dark anyway, and the shoe is emitting light, so it'll really create a focal point with the shoe. So I'm just gonna go ahead and link that so it's not in my model. We can keep some performance here. And it came in as a cube. I'm gonna put that in its... Where did my shoe go? Does my shoe disappear when I drop in a scene? Select objects. copy. And then let's bring that scene back. Oh, switch to scene. So it creates a new scene. That's interesting. I'll just go ahead and paste my shoe. This is the first time I ran into this. That must be like a new default. I'm gonna uncheck that box. Do not switch the scene. Link. Alright, tell you what. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna hit new file. Let's start fresh. Okay, now we'll grab that scene first. Lesson learned. First start with your scene, add a Blender kit, and then bring in your model. So we'll bring over, there it is. We'll get that linked. And now we'll file, append our shoe. The whole collection will do. Okay. Scenes, objects, this is so frustrating. I've had it where I've just dropped scenes before and be able to put my models together, but now it's just giving me a hard time. Let's go back into our animation file. I'm going to open that separately, and I'm just going to paste all these elements over. And I was going to override the materials anyway. No objects to paste, come on. Because I have to append it probably. Alright, let's append. Limited space. Alright, when using a scene and wanting to use it with other models. I mean, there's something very nuanced here I'm sure I'm missing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I download this model from Blender Kit, appended, turn off switch to scene I suppose, hit OK. I guess we do want to switch to the scene, and here is everything, select it all, copy, copied 6 objects, and since it is appended, I should, ooh, I hit copy there. I should be able to just paste right in here. There we go. Ah, now we're set up. We can move our shoe. Let's get that collection out of here. So everything merged together under one. I'm going to go into wireframe view, go over to top view, select my shoe, and hit M, new collection, Nike shoe. And then here we gonna call this our scene. All right, ready to roll. Select the shoe, and I want to move it to where that focal point was, which looks like it's a long corridor all the way down. Okay, so I can imagine this kind of being a sequence of like moving through forward and an athlete talking, and maybe there's like different iconic Nike shoes that I could download and put all over the place with a underlit or something, like this is a museum or some type of showroom. Maybe they're all white, and then over here we start getting this glow at the end of the tunnel. I think that'll work well. Okay, so Control Alt 0 to put our camera here. All right, that shortcut isn't working for me. We go to preferences, input, emulate numpad, I suppose. Control Alt 0. Something's going on with the scene settings, maybe. That's making that camera not want to come to me. So let's select the camera, split this up into two, go through the camera view, and we can move that a bit forward. Oh, it did work. It's just that I wasn't in my camera view. Okay, so we'll hide that menu. We'll go into top view here, hit wireframe. And let's see, locate our Nike shoe, select those objects, and we put that towards the end here. This is really long. I should make this shorter. Maybe like right there. And then select this object, whatever this is, tab. And let's see, I'm gonna select all these faces, right click, dissolve faces. Dissolve edges. Okay. We got a weird diagonal there. Uh-huh. Dissolve edges. Let's try with just this segment. Like a closed loop. Control J. By the way, chat is not working today. Hey there, EM. Thanks for the wave. Always nice to see you on here. Alright, I'm just gonna delete these faces completely. I wanted to do it properly, but let's just delete the edges as well. Now I can select this, just kind of push it on through. Shouldn't be overlapping with other faces though. Let's get rid of these two. Faces and edges. Okay. Now we can move this in. Tab out of that. Select this and move it along. Looks like it's some sort of flooring. All right. So now if we looked through here, this is where we start out at. We can bring up our timeline, go to the end of the sequence. I should calculate, you know, how many seconds I would want this to go for. But let's say if we go to 250 frames at 30 frames per second, we're looking at 8 seconds. Yeah, so 8 seconds maybe for the camera just to pan in. And then there could be something that happens towards the end of this, maybe like 4 seconds to finish it off. So in our last keyframe, that's where we'll put our camera all the way to the end. So let's keyframe its original position right there. All the location. Move over to the last keyframe and move this along. I need to have a light in there, just to know how where my camera's at. Let's see. There we go. All right, so we can get a little closer. And we should be moving higher. And I want to do this whole sequence vertical. 1080 by 1920. All right. Cool. And then we'll keyframe our position there. So we go over to the object properties on the right. Keyframe those positions. It's going to be moving actually slightly up from the beginning, but it's such a long way you won't notice. Okay, then we go get our shoe. Select object, go to the side. It's already somewhere there. Oh, that's a light. The light is with the shoe. That should be in scene. There we go. Select objects. Where is this shoe? Oh, it's just so tiny. Why is this so tiny? Or is the room just that big? Let's see, we'll turn it 90. And will it break if I scale it? No, it scales alright. Just gonna go on the visual here. I'll do fine. And I suppose we do want 2 of them, huh? Do we want 2 of them? I think one's fine. Alright. So I want to switch up the lighting in this opening scene. I'm going to select this model. I'm going to go over to material, and I see that this whole thing is neatly just one cube. And it's got 2 materials, the concrete and then the emission color. So first of all, I'm going to zoom in here and see what kind of quality concrete we got. It's going to be dark anyway, so you're not really going to see. That actually lights up pretty good with some detail. I think that'll read alright in camera. I just want to switch the lighting to be just a bit cooler, like a light blue. Oh, that's the base color, emission color. Okay. And it is way too bright. Okay, another issue is the floor is white. It's reflecting a lot of light. So let's change that. And that's also a simple concrete. But different. If I change the color on that one. Go to our shader editor. Are you the floor? Here's something. I don't know what though. Just make this dark and nothing happens. Maybe here? That is the floor. Why do you look all white and polished? That's not what we want. Should you be... Alright, that was the floor material. Just material 002. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just leave that blank. Okay. Now we need some sort of feature at the end from which the shoe is going to pop up from. So let's go into solid view and I'm going to look for Blender Kit again. And I'm just gonna look again into models this time for sci-fi. And if I could just find like a sci-fi door type of thing or some sort of thing I could animate and bring up. That's flooring. Alright, we'll do... Let's search door. Sci-fi door. No, we got the same thing. Let's see if we got that panel I was thinking I could maybe blow up or isolate. Airlock corridor. Yeah, I guess that's about right. I'm gonna have to break that apart. Which it conveniently and neatly already kind of is. Or is it just one object? Let's see. The main object is the whole thing, and that's made up of, what are these? Those are the ceiling lights. No, thank you. That's the floor. Do I want the floor? What does the floor look like? I need to make my world. There we go. I can just kind of see. I don't want the floor. I don't want. All this is just one piece now. Oh, just kidding. We can isolate it a bit more. If I just move this cube. Still locked into that one. Alright, well. There we are. So many surfaces. Alright. I'm going to wireframe and we'll clean this up. Okay, and this is a series of planes here. So this is one thing. Yes, perfect. So this can open up and the shoe comes out. Rotate that 180. Get it into place. Oh, just kidding. It's facing the right way. Look through the camera. And from the side. And we'll move that into the space. Bam. Alright, but we're gonna have to make this look more Nike branded. So first of all, we're gonna need to darken up these colors. Cool. So just clicking on this color ramp node, which seems to have like a gradient of colors that are applied over just a basic noise texture. Easy enough to like get some surface imperfections, but like stay on a color range. And then being able to control that color range. It's like this. Okay. So to add to the keyframes, we'll go into the timeline. We'll have towards the beginning, this will start out closed for both. So we just keyframe its current position, and then we go to keyframe maybe 230. Where are we at with the camera there? Well, that would be very few frames. We want to give it, what, half a second? 15 frames? So maybe, yeah, 230 is fine. We'll try that out. So I'll hit Shift D on that keyframe and move it up all the way to 230. That way they stay closed up until then. And then at 245, we'll have it just move over to the side. And keyframe those new positions. Where's my door? There it is. All right. So let's test this out. If we go solid, we go to the beginning, move through, voice talking, text on the screen. This might even be moving very fast. And then right here, doors open. Oh, I didn't duplicate the keyframes on one of the doors. It's still off to the side. But that's alright, because I just have to select that door and then just copy that keyframe up to the same point. There we go. So this is what it looks like when we're approaching. I like the speed at which it opens towards the end there. Maybe even we can have this keyframe move a bit sooner. And then just kidding, I'll just move it with G. Move it a bit sooner. And then have it immediately after, like those 10 frames, or very quickly, maybe just 5 frames. Have it move open just a little bit, and before it opens completely. So how does that timing look like? You don't really see it. So it kind of like unhinges open. It's got to move slower. Both of these would have to move sooner. It goes, yeah. Dang, even sooner. It needs more of a pause. So once we get here, I know that there's a graph editor for controlling this type of movement. Something like that keyframe where the speed changes. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I hope that I didn't just screw it up. I inverted it, yeah. I wanted to just be slower. But since I'm not familiar with that graph editor, let's just move this one a bit more. And then we'll duplicate that one. We'll go to it and have it just kind of stay closer to the same position, kind of like a bounce. Okay. That's pretty good. All right. Now I just got to copy that onto the other one. So we'll select that door and move that over. Right? And then we'll get a keyframe like it was 5, where it opens quite a bit there. Set a keyframe. Move over. And this is where it gets stuck. So it's like, bring it back. Okay. So we move in. It goes clunk. And continues to open through. The one on the right moved way more than the one on the left. You know what? That's not Nike. Nike would want it smooth. I got all wrapped up with it, and I think it looks good. I'm gonna duplicate it because it's an animation I'd want to use for another time, but it doesn't really fit. I think about it. So with that duplicated, I'm just gonna delete all those extra keyframes and just have it smoothly open up. Cool. So when it opens up, there's got to be a giant light behind. So I'm actually going to need to move all of this forward a little bit. Go to stand render there. Go to top view here. Wireframe. There we go. Select the shoe. Now select the panels. Go to the first frame just in case. We'll create a little bit of space with the wall there. And then, okay, keyframes are fine on this one. So it's not gonna jump anywhere. Right, cool. And we can add a wall of light behind. So I'm gonna just hit shift right click to put the origin here. And we'll do a We'll do both. We'll do a plane right in front here. Of course, this plane needs to be blocked off. So I'll also grab this one and just grab the edges here. Top. And I can also just do Alt-click to grab the entire side of this thing, right? Nope, it's not connected like that. All right, I'm just gonna create a box. So we'll do Shift A again, create a cube, and there we go. The cube should contain that light right behind the door so we don't have any light spilling around. And so now that plane that's inside, I'm gonna have it just show up a little bit on the side so we see what we're doing. New material, emission, and base color on a light blue. And we'll put up the emission strength, and if we skip over to the frame where it opens up, we've got that bright light behind. Can we make it less bright? This is what I was concerned about. Emission. And base color just blue. Am I looking at the right thing? Whoa, no I was not. Oh, right. I have to select the cube, hit tab, and delete the front face. Delete faces. There we are. So we've got our light blue. And yeah, there's some spill. Because it's not inside the cube right now. There we go. We can make the cube a little bit bigger. Oh, sorry, I mean the plane. The plane's got to be smaller, along with the cube. We'll put the plane right there. Select the cube. Maybe I should do wireframe front view for this, but there's just so much going on that's not so helpful. We'll scale down. I mean, it's somewhat helpful. There we go. And then side view. Okay. Opens up. You know, I think this would even look better in Eevee render. Let's see. If I go to rendered view now, and we set an ambient occlusion and a bloom. Although the metallic is probably not going to look as great. But it could be like stylized, purposefully stylized. There is so much to do with Eevee that I'm not going to do right now. I'll try that in another video. We'll do an Eevee alternate. But in order to add in some volumetric here, because it's kind of boring just like that, we'll add in a sphere, make it big right there. And we usually do go to shader editor, new material. We'll call this one fog. Swap out this principled BSDF with a volume scatter. Lower the density. 0.001. 0.002. Oh, and this was the whole point. I wanted to delete this little point light. Ooh, I don't know what I just deleted. The sphere. I want to delete the point light. Where are you? I see you glowing there. There it is. And I want to instead add a area light to go along with that surface, because that surface isn't really my light source. I want to increase the size of this light, put it in front of that plane, somewhere around here. I like to increase the brightness. There we go. And make it that light blue also. And if I decrease the spread, I'm get a much more focused light. All right. How many samples am I going for? 1,000? That's crazy. Let's go max samples 32. And denoise at sample 1. So that if I go to my timeline now, I can kind of see a live ray traced little mock-up of the animation. Cool. Of course, the shoe has to be behind. Are we getting too close to the camera? Oh yeah, because our wall moved closer. So the camera's got to move. So the camera should stop. Yeah, somewhere around there. Perhaps closer. That's too close. We'll move it centered into this opening too. Okay. I'll just keyframe that new position and delete the previous. What did I just do wrong? We're here. Keyframe. And then delete these. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna move up. Oh my goodness, that's annoying. All right, I'm gonna just move it into place. GUI, right there. New keyframes all around. And now the shoe can move down. But we also want the shoe to be behind there. All this stuff keeps going in my shoe layer. We'll move that shoe closer. That's gonna change our camera position again. Yeah, right behind the door right there. Okay. Sweet. So now we move through. Bam. There it is. And it should be rotating in space. So I'm gonna move to the base of the shoe here and hit shift right click to put the origin right there, and then hit shift A, empty, plane axis. So we'll go to the side view, set it to wireframe, select the shoe, delete that stuff, and then select the empty, Control P, and then object keep transform, just in case. We'll keep the transform. So now I can just move this empty to move the whole shoe. So now I gotta kind of simulate this from the camera perspective. So we're closing in. So right here, the door is opening. So as it's opening, I want the shoe kind of facing like that, but a bit more like that. Okay, so that it turns into view. So we move forward some more. Here's where it's open. I want it to end at right here, somewhere around like that, and then slightly upright. Yeah, we can just have it go into like a normal position and then continue to go. So right here, we're closing in. We could see the back of the shoe, but also kind of like at an angle. And then we finish off with the shoe all the way back around. I might need to like stretch these keyframes out, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Let's see, right there. That's pretty cool. Woo. All right. It's coming together. It's coming together. Let's see. No, I was too zoomed in. There we go. There's the size of the camera. Yeah, we get in too close. So the camera should maybe stop. We get too close, or is the shoe just too small still? Yeah, we just got in too close. I don't know. Something feels off. I don't know if that's that. Oh, you know what it is? The camera stops and the shoe keeps rotating. So yeah, we want to just move these keyframes up sooner. Or crunch them in. Yeah. Okay, so I'll grab these, move them over, and then scale them. You can literally just hit S and scale the keyframes together. Cool. So that the camera, when it stops, the shoe stops. Okay. Okay, that feels more natural. That feels less weird. Whoops, I was going backwards. There we go. And then text could show up, or we could pan to another camera. I'll hit save there. There's a part here where it's like way too dark. And now I totally get these like these ceiling lights or these like recessed sections add so much. I wonder if there could be like a blue light at the end that turns on for anticipation, like much sooner. We're moving through this text. It could like bob up and down a little bit. So we'll do for the Z position, kind of keyframe there. Move along, have it be a little bit independent of the curves. Like right here, just have it like move ever so slightly up. And then as we come down, as we get closer, have it come ever so slightly down. And then towards the end, I'm not an animator, by the way. But today I'm animating. I want to get just more into motion graphics. These type of concepts. There we go. Just make motion graphics normal for concepts. It's so easy to just, I mean, once you do a render scene, like you just like do a little bit to get it to animate. Just, I mean, a little bit. It's more time, both animating and rendering. But the scene's already done, you know? It's like, there we go. All right, that's not bad. I want to make the Nike swoosh glowing colors too. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to shader editor. I want to make this thing pop. So right here for the base color, this is the whole chrome thing. We're going to search for a new material for it and have it be like, I'm going to search for rainbow just to kind of get what I have in mind. See if I can get something else. Oh, hey, Texie. I just saw you pop in the chat. Hopefully it hasn't been that long. Don't know why, but live is buffering so much. Need to check connection. Oh man, thanks for saving my streams, man, to your playlist. I really appreciate that. I have an announcement next week on stream, so I hope you appreciate that too. Considering you've been saving them, it should be a little bit easier to find the different categories of the streams with a new restructuring I'm doing to the channel. Can I please make a tutorial on how to model and animate a USB mic? Got you. USB mic. Yeah, that can be done. Or how to model and animate a GPU. Oh, I saw that today, actually. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it plenty. for like NVIDIA or Intel products, AMD, all of them, of course. That's a good one. Graphic card, not the Founder Edition cards specifically, the fan animation and RGB lights. Yeah, man, we can definitely do a video like that. For something like that, you know, I don't know that I'd actually do a stream though. Because there's a little bit in there I'm sure I'm capable of explaining. I just have to do a bit more preparation on that. I don't think I'd be able to do it straight live. But you got it, man. I'm writing it down. And for anyone watching, please ever just leave a comment or drop it in the chat. As Tech C did, Tech C Drive. Shout out to you, man. And make a request. It makes me think less. I can just go and show you what you need to see, rather than building from what I'm working off of. Which is always fine to build what I'm working off of, but sometimes it's just double the work just for the content. Okay. Which is why I'm restructuring the channel. I think there's a smarter way to do it. Okay. Rainbow. Oh, not what I was looking for. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, yes. Yes, that's what I wanted. Select the Nike swoosh again. Let's pick that. And let's mess with it. So let's make the pattern much bigger. Which means a smaller number. 0.01. Way too small. It's all one color. 0.03. Oof, that's what I wanted. And my swoosh is wrong. Why is my swoosh wrong? Did I alt copy? I don't think I did. You should be on the outside. Ugh. Whoa. You could hit period on your keyboard to like focus in on an object if you ever get lost like that with the orbiting. I gotta hit an edge over here somewhere, probably. There it is. Man, I did something this to mess up this swoosh. It's like all wonky now. Or I'm just missing edges. Let's see. The more I move it, the more it self-corrects. Okay. There it goes. Now we can get it tightly wrapped. Yeah, I just need more subdivisions. Control R, click, put one right there by hitting right click. It snaps to the middle. There we go. Then we can punch this one out just a little bit. These are all actually too far out. There we go. And it's got to rotate. There we go. It's got a little bit of a nuanced twist. I'm gonna do this off camera because this is not fun to show, but it's sometimes what you got to do. I know you can shrink wrap, but I've just like for this kind of stuff that it just doesn't work that well. Okay, now we just link materials. Boom. And we want these materials to continue, obviously. So maybe this is the time where I hit tab, A. Well, Control J first. So select them both, Control J. Oh, and that fixed the UV. Now it's just one object and it carries through. Of course, I'm just gonna fix that because I saw it. So I have to fix it. All right, there we go. Badass. Now we can animate this. Where is aspect ratio? No. I want to animate the position. Here's the distortion and the rainbow style. Oh, okay. So rainbow style kind of has it animate a little bit up to 1. I hope that I can keep going. And then distortion makes it all crazy. Oh, that could be cool too, to have it do that a little bit or kind of bounce around. So we could do that by hitting Shift A, adding in a value node to plug in a number there. I'm going to duplicate this so I get a timeline above as well. And so I only need to start worrying about this when the shoe starts to show up. So like right there. We got to put our first keyframe here for 0, and I'm going to copy this to use a different number on the other one for distortion. Randomizer is just on off, so it doesn't make sense to animate that. It's just either random or it's not. But we'll do here on rainbow style, right click and insert keyframe or I. So if I hover over here in distortion, I can also do I. For the rainbow style, I'm hoping I can go further than 1. If we go towards the end and I make that 3, and then after changing it, hit I, have it turn yellow. And for this one, I would want it to change much more subtly, so I'll do 0.6 towards the end. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, I mean, you don't really notice it as it's spinning because it's just spinning so fast. But you do kind of see it towards the end that it's changing up. Oh, this is not following the camera. There we go. I want more purple there. I wish the numbers were friendly to get a bit more purple. Alright, I'm going to extend the animation just because this one camera is doing me so good. I'm going to extend it to 300 frames, which puts us at 10 seconds. And then as it's hovering, we then notice the color change. So let's just continue the color change. We go to the end. This is now 6. This is now 1.2. I hit I to update both of those values here in the shader editor, and I can delete that middle frame because it's just going to go continuously. And I probably have to add a float. So right there, our float stopped. Oh, I didn't want to keep animating the distortion though. That's way too distorted towards the end. We'll keep that at 0.6, maybe more, 0.8. Thanks for the subscribe, TechC Drive. Appreciate that, man. I'm gonna make sure that when you get the notification that I'm streaming, that I'm well and ready and prepared. I'm excited for what I'm gonna announce next week. Let's just say that it's gonna change a little bit what I've been doing here. I think it's gonna work a lot better. I'm changing it up, of course, because I want to just bring better quality content, and I've been doing these streams for a while and I've been getting a lot of ideas. I figured let me just do these, you know, get going on the practice and I'm being comfortable with it. And yeah, I mean, just keep changing it up to whatever I think is better as I do it. Just trying to find my way to make content. It's hard to just not copy what's out there and jump on the bandwagon, but I don't want to do that. I don't know if that. I've done it with some content just to try that I think is interesting, but it doesn't always feel genuine, you know? And I think that's important. Okay, the float. So we select this one and I'm gonna just copy these frames over. So I'm gonna just literally take these, hit Shift D, move them over, and maybe stretch them out a little bit, like it calms down a little towards the end. Okay. Oh, I don't want it to like stop rotating now either. So it floats up and then it's very minimal rotation here towards the end. In the last frame, we're going to do a little rotation like this and a little rotation like that. Oh, that felt weird. That tilt down feels weird because it wasn't happening before. No, it was. It just wasn't rotating that way. Let's see. Let's move that back. New keyframes all there. Something's weird there. These are changing, and then Z changes. Yeah, there was no Z rotation here. It's just tilting down. So I gotta add some Z value before. 326. Here. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm just looking at the numbers for rotation and location. And I noticed that it stops rotating on the Z-axis here. I don't know what I did. And then it just stays, and then it keeps rotating in the Z. So that probably means... You know, I don't know what that means. It should mean that I should get a straight line for that keyframe all throughout here. That it's constant, but I don't, so that's freaking me out. And maybe I'll just go here and just get rid of this keyframe. Just clear that one keyframe, please. Delete single keyframe. Alright, that's less weird. Yeah, that distortion still gets to too big a number for the material over here. So we'll turn that into... It ends at 0.4. Let's do 0.2. Is it just distortion or no distortion? Oh, whoa. Okay. That's 0. You know, I'm just gonna delete that and make the distortion less. 0.01. Okay, now I gotta get in here and I gotta change these colors to something specific. Mix shader, reflection. Thanks for the combo, man. I like the shoe too. It's I downloaded an Air Jordan and used a Mid-Journey. Well, if you saw last week's stream, or if you checked it out, that's basically where it came from. And it's a Mid-Journey image applied onto a model of a shoe. I took a little shortcut, but this is just coming up with a concept. This is related to like a little side project too, but I don't want to quite show that on stream. I'm like practicing here on this stream for this project. But it's interesting, the whole shoe thing. It's so, I mean, it's like similar with the car stuff that I've mentioned. Like, it's so nuanced on where the curves are for these type of products or these type of designs. Rainbow style. I'm trying to find the color. Mix shader, reflection, glass noise. What? Glass noise reduction. What's in here? For now, shader, glossy, color, reflection color. 3D. Is the color coming from the noise texture? So it's just every color. So hue, saturation, value. So right here, if I were to, what was it? Control, Shift, Alt, right click. Yes. Shift right click with the Node Wrangler add-on, and you get this little in-between node. So I don't have to keep like re-plugging it into the same place. And I can move that over with G. And in between, I'll add a color ramp. Okay, so now it's just black and white. I can add a swatch. I can crunch them together. And let's make this, boom, that light blue. Let's make this like a purple. And then let's make this, I don't know, yellow. Yellow? Yeah. Let's take a close look. I don't want the blue to be too prominent. I do want it on there, but not so crazy. Okay, I think that's great. Ah, now I kind of want that here too. Maybe I can. If I just go here and select that colored material to the rainbow, abstract glass, bam. So is now that changing color as well? Oh, the color change is like really subtle now. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. Alright, yeah, it's not changing on the bottom though. So the UV here is a bit weird. So abstract gem glass. I don't even know where the UVs are coming from. Don't know. Maybe just less purple? Yeah, just it's either yellow or it's blue for the soul. What the heck? Generated object, all this stuff, vector. Yeah, there's like some crazy math going on there. I'm gonna roll with it. It's fine. Okay, I think I'm gonna render this out, get a little mock animation going, pop it into After Effects, and just add like a title sequence. I don't know, something inspirational. Maybe use an AI voice to do like a really deep, like Morgan Freeman speech as it moves in. Before I do that though. Oh, this is just open to the outside. That's why there's light pouring in from outside. So if I make the world color lightly blue, that's done. Yeah. And it's like, it still feels like skylights. Because it's just, if I made it all the way blue, I mean, it just feels like nighttime, actually. When really everything is blue. But here, it kind of translates well. It's like very matrixy. I can't just leave that like that though, huh? I gotta now look for a window. Alright, that's it. That's the last thing I'm doing before I animate this. Promise. Window, I'm looking something with a skylight quality, but more techy. Ooh, yeah. I'll make that work. Kinda like Batman-esque. The Christopher Nolan Batman. Let's see. Well, I should look at that from camera, huh? And does it even show up in camera? Like, ever so slightly? I mean, yeah, it does. If anyone is looking right up here at that precise moment. But you know, base is covered. Maybe I should no. I shouldn't. Escape. Select all that. Alt D, Y, copy that over. How does it look sooner? Alright, it's all covered. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, y'all. That's it for today's stream. I'm gonna just render this out overnight. I'll prep that video upon your request, Tech C Drive. Thanks for that. We'll do a little animation of a USB dongle getting plugged in. Or, you know, some tech stuff. Some stuff around tech would be really cool. That chip one sounds like there's some particle. I did like some particle stuff for like simulating electricity running through stuff at one point. There's also like plugins at this point for getting that done. I'm all for taking the best route. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, y'all, you can see me on stream Tuesdays and Wednesdays this week, next week at 7 p.m. So thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks to everyone for subscribing, and that'll be it.